Hi, Peter.
Hi
Isn't
there.
this the most beautiful place?
I love it, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We have passing by a speedboat.
Yeah.
Hi! You're being recorded! Ah, what a great place. So this is Easter Friday, and we're here on the Yarra River, the Bellbird beautiful area of Richmond. How do you feel about that?
Oh, great, I love it.
And tell me more.
Uh-huh.
What do you love about this beautiful environment of Melbourne?
Oh, I love the river and the trees, the water, and it's just so great to be surrounded by nature and something magical about the water and the river.
I agree. Yeah, so it's this abundance of leaves and nature and activity on the Yarra River, okay?
Yeah.
So, Peter, I've asked you to come today because I would like to do this interview. I have a passion for really supporting small businesses in Australia and giving business owners an opportunity to express themselves, where they're at with their business, how they started it, and some other questions. And, I know that you're upstarting businesses as well, which I know you're doing, is you're going to be a coach and a counsellor. And I know there's a distinction between both of those. I just want to ask the first question, what is counselling?
Well, there's various different types of counselling. There's the type of counselling that I love, which is person-centred counselling. It's different in that I'm more an equal with the client rather than being an expert. And I create this space as much as possible non-judgmental, place where I actively listen to the client. The client can take their own direction as to where they want to go in the counselling, and I simply reflect back what I observe, whether it be something about their body language, whether it be something that's maybe not congruent in what they're saying, or just even reflect and paraphrase what I've heard them say.
Okay, so what inspired you to get into counselling?
A friend of mine told me about a particular counsellor that she went to see, and she had started studying under him, and invited me to come along and experience it for myself. Mm-hmm. And I loved the way it was done. Unlike most of the other counselling courses, where most of it's based on theory, in this particular counselling, the person-centred counselling, most of the training was actually practicing in triads, with one person being the role of client, one being the role of counsellor, and a third person being the role of listener. And I just loved it. I loved what we could get out of creating that space for the client, and it was incredible, just even the practice sessions, what people got out of it.
Okay, Peter, I can hear that. So, now that you're a student and eventually you'll be going into transition of becoming a professional counsellor, what are some of the challenges you think you'll have to face in this kind of business, and how do you reckon you can overcome them?
Well, my initial challenge is getting myself a sufficient clients to support me in doing what I'm doing, especially paying clients. Then, once I really get into it, the next challenge will be my own personal development, because in doing this work, in doing the counselling work, stuff comes up for me, and I really need to deal with that to be able to add that value to the client.
Okay. And, also want to kind of know, you're going to give the services of being on the phone, or webinars that are perhaps video, audio, or audio, face-to-face. I mean, what sort of services can you provide people?
My first preference is face-to-face. I love those because I can have a much greater connection with the client. I can observe all aspects, body language, as well as tone of voice and the actual words that are used. Other ways I can still hear some of that in doing it by phone or Skype or whatever. but I certainly find that doing it by emails and messages to be a big challenge. That's probably my least favourite.
I'd imagine these days people don't have much time and they prefer it to be kind of express service, as a phone can give that, and also the webinars. What I question though is the challenge of people who are more kinesthetic, who really feel something more than they can see or hear it or make sense of it. How are you going to tell what's going on for those people? Like, say if you're doing audio or on a webinar or a video audio, what way can you tell what's going on for those people?
Usually by listening carefully to the tone of voice, their tempo, the way they express themselves, and often a lot in their silences as well.
Great. I can understand all that, having done counselling myself and done NLP, so I do know what you mean by that. So that's great. That to me shows you're a very astute counsellor, to make sure you know where your customer's coming from. Okay, so Peter, what do you see yourself doing in 5 or 10 years in this business? Where do you see yourself going?
I see myself having a lot of choices into whether I do face-to-face, whether I'm working with other people as part of a team, or being part of training in a particular modality.
Great. And how does this business fit with your own professional and personal development?
Well, this particular career really fast-forwards my own personal development, as I really get to deal with anything that comes up to me in sessions with clients.
Great. So what do you see, hear and feel with clients going through, the counselling process from, say, the beginning to the end?
Oftentimes I see some big challenges, sometimes some deep emotional traumas, complete feelings of helplessness, and often just in a matter of a few minutes that can start to ease, start to get progress, slow as it may be at times, and eventually get to a space where I can, me and the client can both see that we're on track for either in the short term or the long term getting the outcomes we're looking for.
Great. What would be one thing that you might not want to be a counsellor with, say, some client that may be kind of like against your own ethics, as well as the fact of being a counsellor that has in the criteria of what you know you can do and not do with a client?
Well, I think the biggest challenge comes in the area where the client actually wants me to do it for them or me to advise them. I find those type of clients I prefer to refer on to other counsellors who will fulfil on what they want.
Okay, I get that. So what are the main benefits of counselling, Peter?
The benefits depend a lot on what the client is committed to. A client who's committed to a breakthrough in relationship probably stands for getting the greatest benefits, as breakthrough in relationship will generally make a positive impact to all other areas in their life.
Great. So what's the investment financially in this modality?
Basically, a counselling session is about $50 for a 50-minute session, and it's wise to budget on the fact that counselling will normally take a number of sessions, and rather than simply looking at it as a single session solution, you need to look at it as an ongoing practice and think in terms of that.
Great, Peter. So I just have one other possible question, or maybe two, is that what is the most important thing that people need to know about counselling as opposed to coaching?
Yeah. Well, firstly, what I think is the most important thing people need to know about counselling is that even at the times that they least want to consider it as a possibility, it's probably the greatest choice that they could make to move forward when they've got something come up for them. And I would say, as opposed to coaching, I don't think the two are opposed. You know, in actual fact, they can work in empowering each other. Oftentimes, people can either take a counselling approach or a coaching approach, and still be on track to get what they want. And it's the client's choice.
I love it. Okay, I can get exactly what you're saying. So another possible question, and might as well put this in, is what else would you like to tell people about your business as a counsellor that possibly I haven't even thought about?
I think that people need to know right now is a great opportunity to step in before I start having a long list of clients wanting my time. And there's some probably great opportunities to work with me while I'm readily available.
Okay, so you're going to be pretty hot to trot soon, right? Everybody wanting this man in demand as a counsellor, yeah? That's a really great attitude to have, and I'm sure you've got a lot to offer people and contribute. So, Peter, where else can people find out about counselling?
Okay, they can have a look at what I have to say about it on my own website, Give to Give, that's GIVE, TOGIVE. And there's also, if you look up person-centered counselling or Rogerian counselling on the internet.
And what's your phone number? That people can know that and give you a ring so that, you know, you can start this long list.
0434 256 611.
Okay, Peter, thanks a lot for just coming on this beautiful day and just your generosity and your time. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure that you'll do really well in your business.
And thank you for coming into beautiful location alongside the river here and doing it for me.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
Bye.